more like I'm going to be wrong, but we'll see. And but like I said, so that's the story on the babies, where they're at, and the personality differences. Horses are like humans. There's 10 of them here, and we got 10 different personalities, and I think a couple of them probably got 2 or 3 personalities of themselves. So, but so that's where we're at with the babies. Now, as far as breeding season, holy moly. I thought last year was wild. It had nothing on this year. Lord have mercy. So we started out a Jewel, foaled perfect, cycled perfect, no pulling of the urine, bred right on time. Bam. Got the semen. Our semen wasn't the best. So, not a good sign. So we bred her. Waited around. Guess what? She wasn't in foal. Doc Sharon was right. Semen wasn't as good as it should be. He gave it a low. It was a low mortality rate. So went through with that. Dealt with Shane Vaughn, West Fork Ranch, Cat Smart Boone's Mall. Shane was good to work with. No big deal. He's like, she cycles again, sends you another load of semen. Didn't charge us another thing, which, he shouldn't, but he didn't. He done well. He said, no, it ain't no big deal. It happened. I understand it happened. So he sent us another load of semen. Second round, guess what? Bad semen again. So, well, by this time, we had been, this end of April, we're up in June on Jewel. We're like, all right, we got to do something different. Me and him talked. It's like, all right, you sent it through FedEx this time. Both times, bad semen. He said he had trouble with FedEx year before last. It's just usually where he sends it through. FedEx going to Texas, he had trouble with. So he was going to try. I was like, all right, let's try UPS. Try something different. And we'll do counter to counter. We were just doing overnight. We wasn't doing counter to counter. I was like, no, we'll do counter to counter. Well, then, bam, she stopped cycling. So she's open. We didn't get the breeder. It got late. She cycled through 2 really good times. We just missed it. We're gonna roll his breeding over to next year. Well, then around comes a dare. Dare has spark, or dare has oak. Everything's looking good. It's raining. It's wet. So her foal heat, she couldn't be turned out. And let her exercise any, so she pulled urine. So we took her to, we got her to breed ice. We had her booked to breed ice hickory. It was like, all right, no big deal. We'll wait till the next. She was measuring perfect. She was pulling some urine. So Doc Sharon was worried about breeding her and her just flushing it with the urine. So he's like, let's let her dry out. No big deal. Well, it ended up being a big deal because she never cycled again. We give her progesterone. We give her, all kinds of stuff. We give her hormone medicine. I was giving her a shot morning and night for days on end, and she would cycle get about where the follicle should be about 4 or 5 days from being ready to ovulate, and she would just shut down and discontinue it, start over. So we went through that. Never did even get a chance to breed her. So there again, we roll ice hickory's breeding over to next year. Well, then Coachella comes along, foals, metal hits the ground, good as can be. Coachella, everything looks good. Again, it's raining. She wasn't able to be turned out the first week. I'm not about turning my babies out in the first week in the rain and mud. Some people say some people, you might listen to this, think, well, you're crazy. You should have went ahead and kicked them out. They're horses. But I don't like to take a chance. So we get there. Coachella's pulling urine. Blah blah blah. Same thing. So we cycle her through second time. She cycled through second time good. We breed her. Well, we go to breed her to. We had her booked to Cat's Emoji from from Rieta and Gabe Clark's ranch, the OW, in Wyoming. And he's actually at Rising Sea Stallions in Sheridan, Wyoming, is where he's at. Well, by the time that we went to breed him to them, or to Coachella, they had finished their breeding, all of them but her booking, I reckon. And I guess they thought I just wasn't going to breed, but I had her actually. She foaled last of May. Well, they kicked him out with their mares to breed, and then the foals, the ones that they actually had him booked to, they go back to catch him and couldn't catch him. So, being the great people that they are, with Riding Sea Stallions and Buck and Mary Brannaman and Gabe and Rieta Clark, they just upgraded us and give us a breeding to Guapo Gato, which is Buck's horse, and which was fine with me. I mean, they asked me if that was okay, which his breeding was more expensive than Cat's Emoji, and I really like Guapo anyway, and so we got upgraded him. They sent us in some semen. It was right on time, right good. It was good semen, good. Coachella was perfect. We inseminated. And then she stays at Brood and Riddle for 4 days out there at the farm. And finally, we just pick her up on the 4th day because Doc Sharon's like, I don't think she's going to ovulate. We may even miss her. He's like, but let's give her 14 days and we'll come back. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be out of town. We were doing something. I was like, let's do it. It'll be 16 days. Well, so we went back 16 days later, and bam, what did we have? A 30 millimeter follicle or embryo that is growing perfect. So we did get fortunate. One thing I can say is Guapo's semen had to be strong. So Coachella, our marriage was not cooperating this year, but I guess they did because she hung on and ended up getting bred. And so we are going to have one foal next year instead of 3 like we hoped. But with that, we have to roll over 2 breedings to next year, which is Ice Hickory and Cat Smart Boomsmaw. Well, I had already booked Coachella to breed to Patty's Irish Whiskey because the Sixes was doing a special on St. Patrick's Day this past year to breed to Patty's Irish Whiskey for 50% off. I mean, he's 30, which is, we're going to do an XE process and, not an embryo transfer, but we're going to go through IVF with her, and which is going to be a little more costly, but you don't get a chance to breed to a 31-year-old horse much, especially one that is as good as having we're going to have a direct baby out of Patty's Irish Whiskey. You don't have a chance at that much. We don't. So we're going to put one on the ground, and Lord willing. So which is fine because Coachella actually took this year and we didn't have to roll her breeding over. But here's the dilemma. So we entered Oak, got it entered into a contest. So the Rose of Sharon Ranch bought last year's return to the Remuda sale to Sixes, the Rose of Sharon Ranch in Arkansas. They actually bought Natural Bottom. Well, so they are really promoting Natural Bottom and putting him into, here's, and you think, well, if he's Natural Bottom is a great horse. You can look at his record, look at his breeding, look at his coats. I mean, they are just performers, great horse. And you think, well, why did the Sixes get away from him? Well, the thing, what happened is, from what I think, and the way I understand, not just what I think, but what I've heard and understand is, so Taylor Sheridan now owns the Sixes, which he is very, very performance-based horseman. Well, they got rid of Guthrie City Limits, and they sold natural bottom. Honestly, I think both of them sold very well and were cheap, in my opinion, for the horses that they are, and for what they brought to Remuda sale. So, but Rose Sharon got him, and it's good. They're really promoting him to me like he should be promoted. They built in a big arena, and they're just going to do. You take the sixes. They breed so many horses. I mean, it's just crazy, and they got so many good ones. And I'm not saying they don't promote all of them, but because they do, they're still promoting natural bottom and on their page and stuff. Well, so because he stood there all year, but the Rose Sharon is taking him home so they can breed him out of their place. Well, make a long way around the barn, they wanted a foaling contest. For the foals this year, they did a picture contest. Whoever got the most likes, they were going to do a discount for him to breed to him next year. So, very fortunate, Oak won that contest. So we're happy to see that. But also, that puts us having 4 studs to breed to next year, and we got 3 mares. So, and we really, really wanted to breed to Bet He's a Cat this coming year. So that puts us at a dilemma. Now, the thing about it is what we're probably going to do is we're either going to do one or two things. We're going to buy a reset mare and have a mare flushed and put an embryo and 1 stud in the flush mare, and then just breed, when the mare cycles again, breed that mare to another stud, and to have 2 babies out of 1 mare, but just 2 different studs the same year. So we could do that. Which we know we got Coachella booked to Patty. I would really like to breed. I really want to see Jewel bred to Cat Smart Boomsball. So, I really like that horse. So hopefully, but then we want to see a dare bred to IC Hickory. But so I don't know who I'll double down on natural bottom on one of the two, because we got to really. Oak is, like I said, he's an awesome colt out of natural bottom and a dare. Well, I would really like to see what natural bottom would put on the ground out of Jewel. So I don't know what I'll do. Honestly, we may just pick up another mare and move them around and just do something totally different. I have no idea. I would really like to pick up 2 mares and go ahead and breed. Take the 2 breedings we got booked to the 2 horses that we had to roll over to the 2 new mares, and take natural bottom to Jewel and Bet He's a Cat to Adair. But who knows? It just depends. Depends on how if we sell any babies, how they sell. If we keep we got 2 mares that we kept that are yearlings that are going to be 2-year-olds next year. So it may be one of them may get sold. They may both go to a trainer. If they do, then we probably won't buy another mare. I might just get a reset and do something like that. So just depends. We'll just see. I have to watch and see. So that's pretty much how the quarter horses are doing. I kind of mentioned earlier about we picked up a mare, a young 2-year-old mare. Well, she's actually a red run walking horse. We went to the Born to Win sale at Chuck Gibbons in Richmond in June. So June, July, something like that. Yeah, I think it was June 16th. I think. But so we picked her up regardless what day it was, what month. It's one of them. Like I said, it's been crazy. A lot of things are running together. And So, actually, it was.